Ishizu Capote, and we're back with another hero deck profile. So I'm really excited for this one because if you don't know already, the new format is something of a flipping very, very limited format because flipping tier element Ishizu tier is the best deck of the format by far. This deck has game against it specifically because of Darklaw, and I have tailored the deck towards getting Darklaw out, and you'll see that in the choices that I've made. But also it has other cards to try to combat it, and other choices that I've sort of made to sort of play around a tier Ishizu being basically the only thing you're going to run into in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And, well, besides the Swiss rounds, of course. So, for, this is going to be a shorter version of the video, and I'm just going to go over the choices, and I will go into detail about the more important choices, but everything else is just going to be ratios. It's just going to be you guys looking at it quickly. And yeah, let's get into it. So first, of course, we have 3 Elemental Hero Stratos. If you're not playing 3, you're doing something wrong. Then we have 1 Liquid Soldier, 2 Shadow Mist, 1 Honest Neos. Now, this is a card that until Eon Shuffle comes out, I'm going to keep in the main deck at 2. I used to play 3, but then I found 3 was too bricky. But this is a card that you definitely want to see as much as possible. So if you want, the reason that I'm not playing it is because I chose to include, I'm not playing the 3rd copy is because I chose to include 2 other cards. And 42 cards is like my happy number of cards in the deck. I just, for some reason, the first deck I ever built competitively was 42 cards, and I've kept it at that ever since, just for nostalgia's sake. So, I mean, the first deck that I did like well with and like won something with. Anyway, Crosskeeper, 2 of him. I think he's really important for getting Darklaw out turn 1 and also for extension later on, and for the consistency combo that you get later on with the Liquid Soldier. Then 3 Ferris. 1 increase because I like I said in other past videos, the Vision Hero package isn't the most important thing in the deck anymore. You can play very well without it, and it's just extra at most points. And if you open up increase, you open up increase. It's 1 card, and if you open it up, it sucks. But if you open up 2 increase, it's exponentially worse. Then we're going for 2 Vion, 2 Malicious, 1 Denier. Denier is so good. 1 Dark Angel. So Dark Angel, the reason I like Dark Angel is because yeah, he's not like him alone. Him with DPE doesn't do much by itself, but Dark Angel helps you go against cards like Lightning Storm, cards like Mystic Mind, cards like any spell card that's going to remove your field, even Super Poly, which tier is just maining for sure. There's no reason why they wouldn't. The only card that really beats it is Forbidden Droplets, which is a problem, and people are going to be playing it, but it's just something extra that you have, right? If they have the droplet, they have the droplet, but everything else, it's just a little insulation for your board more than anything. Then 1 Plasma for those decks that that do hurt against Plasma. Ishizu tier doesn't really care about Plasma, which is why you're not usually making it. It's a different board altogether. Then 1 Evil Hero Dust Gold along with the Dark Calling, 3 Fusion Destiny because it's at 3 for thank goodness. I still need 1 ulti, but like we'll get there. Then 3 A Hero Lives because thank goodness it is at 3. I remember playing with it at 1. It was like, ooh, fusion, or ooh, A Hero Lives. And yeah, for those of you who say like, oh, 4,000 life points is a lot to pay, it's like, yeah, but you also get so much off of it that it doesn't matter, and no one's playing Nibiru because it sucks right now, so it's pretty good. Then Mass Change, 3 of that because Darklaw is your main win condition dense here for sure. 2 Poly, this is something I'm going to touch on because I love 2 Poly. Even I'm playing Wonder Driver in the extra deck as well, but I love 2 Poly. I love 2 Poly in this deck. It is so good. You get something off your Vision Hero. Your plays don't end. You don't have to go through all the resources to get the Wonder Driver unless you've used the 2nd Poly and you for some reason need the 3rd one. But usually you don't get that far. The Wonder Driver is basically just extra and more for extension than anything. You could honestly switch it for another card. I don't know which one because this deck kind of sucks. Maybe Baguska, but we'll see. one Called By, one Harpy's Feather Duster, because you do need to play a Mystic Mine out, and honestly, this is the biggest impact one there is. That's just one in the main deck. One Reinforcement of the Army, because it searches your whole deck. One Miracle Fusion for the advantage play. Three Forbidden Droplets. The reason I play Forbidden Droplets instead of Super Poly, because Super Poly kind of sucks against tier, which is like, it's good. It gets you a monster, but unless you're playing tier, it doesn't get you enough for it to actually matter. It's just not good enough for most decks, unless you're again playing the mirror, because in the mirror you get your own tier stuff, right? You get your own like play starters, but when you're just playing heroes, for example, you don't get much. Maybe a Draco Stapelia, sorry, or a Mud Dragon, which is good, but it's not worth it, if that makes sense. But Forbidden Droplet can stop your opponent's plays at any time during the turn, as long as it's set. Anytime during your turn, it helps dodge removal, it helps give you advantage, and yeah. And then 3 Rivalry of Warlords, because I think Rivalry of Warlords is insane this format, especially against the Aqua using tier. It's less good now than it was during Danger Tier format, but I still think it's really good, specifically because you're all warriors, and it stops them from going into Kaleido Heart, and it stops them from using their Rhino Heart if they have other cards on the field. And also, a lot of the times, the tier boards are very versatile in what they make. For example, Elf is a Fire, Thunder, it's very useful to make it so that they can't play Elf, so they can only go into Aquas, or if you lock them into Warriors when they normal summon Rhino Heart, then they're just locked into the Rhino Heart because there's no other Warrior in the deck. And then we've got the extra deck, which is Linkuriboh. This is for the Ibly locks that people are playing. This is going to be very common in Sprite, maybe even tier. I think I just want to be prepared for that, so I think you play the Linger. You can make rank 4s in this deck pretty easily now because of Crosskeeper, and because of Denier and other things. So Abyss Dweller is there if you just want to go maybe special summon Darklaw and then go Abyss Dweller, because it's sort of overkill there, but if they get rid of one, then you have the other, right? Then for the Masked Heroes, we have Masked Hero Blast and Masked Hero Acid. Then we have one Malicious Bane. I think the Bane is really good. I mean, it's so easy to search in this deck, and it gives you a lot going second. Then the 2 Darklaw, this is the main win condition of the deck. 1 Sunrise, 1 Absolute Zero for the advantage that you can get off of it and for the extra bodies. 2 Extra Zero Cross Crusader, 1 Extra Zero Wonder Driver. This is honestly, you could cut for something else. I'm not sure what I would want to cut for it. Maybe a 3rd Cross Crusader, but I'm not sure. 1 Dread Decimator. This actually does come up. I know a lot of people are cutting it because it's like, oh, it only gives you attack, but it really does help push for game in those instances where you have to chew through boards and have barely anything left on the field. It really does help. And then 2 DPE, this is something that I've actually loved. So a lot of the time, especially with Bistids and with all the graveyard hate that there is right now, your first DP is going to get it's not going to survive. It's not going to be alive during turn 2. It's either going to be banished by a Bestial, or it's going to be stopped by a Rukalos, which is fine because it's really easy to go to the second copy, and the second copy is usually really good to clear a lot of what's left over on your opponent's board, which is just I think it's fantastic. I really like DP too. Anyway, that is it for the quick deck profile. I'll leave a link in the comment for the more in-depth explanation where I go into why I played that many copies of that card. And yeah, it'll be more for like people who want to really understand why I play the choices, why I made the choices I make, or for beginners of the deck profile. So if you want to watch that, please do. If not, then I hope you enjoyed, and leave a like, maybe subscribe if you want, and ring the notification bell for more videos. I'll see you guys later. I hope you have a great day.